Hey guys, it's Memorizer92, and today I'm gonna cover all the Glaivier builds that are actually used after the April balance patch. I will introduce the builds and give you my opinions on each build, but I will not go over DPS stuff or something like which one is better than which, because there's no proper way to compare that in the live server since the patch happened this week. So look into the builds thoroughly and choose the one that you think it will suit you. You can also customize your build depending on your budget, so you don't need to strictly follow the builds. Also, I will make other videos as soon as possible, something like skill set upon skill points. Then let's move on. Well, before we go into the builds, let me quickly go over gems and card set first, because the theory of running gem and card set on all the builds is same. For the gems, you need to run attack gems on all the mastered DPS skill, and place other slots with cooldown reduction gems on whatever skills that you want to balance out. For the card set, the best is 18 plus Awakening on Light Salvation, but if you don't have it, any sets are fine to go. Then let's go for the builds. The first build is Pinnacle with Specialization and Swiftness build, mastering 5 blue skills and 2 red skills. This build shows stability on both survivability and DPS, thanks to using Swiftness as a substat and red skills that use guaranteed crit tripods. This build has some blue skills that can be used twice before you change your stance. So if you like to spam skills and want to use red skills as well, then this is your build. For stats, you wanna main Specialization and sub Swiftness. Specialization raises all the efficiency of identity buff. You can refer to my video that explains how Pinnacle and Specialization affect on Glaivier in the link below. For the gears, you can run either Redemption or Nightmare set for the relic. Redemption set increases damage and attack speed, whereas Nightmare set increases damage and mana restoration. You can refer to my video that explains all the relic gears. There's a link below the video. And for the Argos set, I recommend the one that increases crit damage, since all the Specialization and Swiftness build uses guaranteed crit tripod on red skills. For the skills, I'm just gonna cover the ones that most of people are using for each build. Okay, blue skills first. First one is Chain Slash. This is one of the skills that can be used twice before you switch your stance to the red stance, since it has short cooldown. The first tripod increases the damage, and second one increases the damage by consuming 20% of identity gauge, so you don't want to use this skill as the first skill when you switch to blue stance, since you will not get the benefit by using this tripod when you have 0 gauge, less than 20. And last one increases damage and turns the skill from melee to range skill. The next one is Stampeding Slash. This is also one of the skills that can be used twice before you switch your stance to red stance, since it has short cooldown. It is slightly weaker than Chain Slash. All 3 tripods increases damage of this skill. The next one is Wheel of Blaze. This skill also has short cooldown, but it's not as short as Chain Slash or Stampeding Slash. If you didn't invest enough on Swiftness and cooldown reduction gem on this skill, then you will not be able to run this skill twice before switching your stance. Well, thanks to the patch, this skill changed to back attack from head attack. The first tripod increases movement distance, and second one increases the damage. And the last one turns the skill into combo skill, where you can use the skill twice with increased damage. While normally people run Chain Slash and pick either one from Stampeding Slash or Wheel of Blaze. Stampeding Slash can be used twice in one stance, but it doesn't have immunity to push attacks, whereas Wheel of Blaze cannot be used twice but has immunity to push attacks. The damage done in one attack is similar for both skills, so it's up to you which one to pick. The next skill is Flash Kick. This skill is a movement skill. This tripod increases the movement distance of this skill. You don't really have to upgrade this tripod since Glaivier has lots of other DPS tripods to be upgraded. The next skill is Vault Kick. Well, this skill is the counter skill for the blue stance. You can use this tripod, which increases the movement distance of this skill if you have enough skill points. The next skill is called Half Moon Slash. This skill is one of the strongest skill in the blue stance. The first tripod increases damage. Second one increases the damage by consuming 20% of identity gauge, which is the same tripod that Chain Slash has. You don't want to use this skill as your first skill when you switch over to blue stance as well. And the last one turns the skill into a holding skill and increases the damage by a lot. The next skill is Raging Dragon Slash. This skill is one of the strongest skills on blue stance along with Half Moon Slash. The first tripod reduces the cooldown. The second one turns the skill into combo skill where you can slice twice with increased damage. And the last one increases damage and crit rate as well. The next skill is Cutting Wind. For me, I run this skill at level 1 to fill up the gauge just in case other skills miss. But there are some people who run at level 7 by using this tripod that raises restoration of gauge and this tripod that reduces motion delay. If you want to invest skill points to other DPS skills up to level 11 or level 12, you don't have to invest skill points on this skill like me. The next skill is Shackling Blue Dragon. This skill is the synergy skill which raises you and your teammates' crit rate by landing it on the mob. The first tripod reduces cooldown, second one reduces the motion delay, and last one increases the crit rate of synergy by 10%. You wanna use this skill as the first skill to apply bonus crit rate on other blue DPS skills. Let's go over to the red stance. The first skill is Spiraling Spear. And this is used as level 1 to fill up the gauge. Also, after the patch, it is now able to counter. The next one is called Thrust of Destruction. This skill guarantees crit if you run the guarantee crit tripods. And it is the skill that got the biggest buff in the patch. The first one reduces cooldown, and this one increases crit rate by 50% and raises your crit damage as well if you upgrade the tripod. Also, you don't have to hit it by the edge anymore to get the crit bonus after the patch. And last one turns the skill into charging skill and increases crit rate by 50% and increases the damage as well. So by pairing up these two tripods, it becomes guaranteed crit skills. The next skill is Starfall Pounce. This skill also can guarantee crit. The first tripod increases damage, and this one reduces the cooldown. And last one guarantees crit and increases the crit damage as well if you upgrade this tripod. This build masters two red skills, including Red Dragon's Horn, which I will explain you later. So you have to choose either Thrust of Destruction or Starfall Pounce. After the patch, Thrust of Destruction does more damage, but it has longer motion delay since it's a charging skill, and Starfall Pounce allows you to move some distance, whereas Thrust of Destruction does not. You can pick either one you like. The next skill is Dragon Scale Defense. This is a retaliation skill which can block the mob's attack. The next skill is Red Dragon's Horn. This is a holding skill which is the strongest skill that Glaivier has. The first tripod reduces cooldown. The second one guarantees crit and increases the crit damage as well if you upgrade this tripod. And the last one increases the damage. Lastly, for the Awakening, if you're running Nightmare gear set, which is the relic gear set that you can wear later on, use Spear Meteor since you can apply the Nightmare buff on the first usage, whereas Storming Red Dragon cannot. If it's not a Nightmare set, then use this one, the Storming Red Dragon, since it's technically stronger than the Spear Meteor. And for the Specialization and Swiftness build, you wanna use the Awakenings on blue stance, since Awakenings have nothing like guaranteed crit tripod, and you literally run 0 crit stat. For the runes, if you want to run Conviction and Judgment runes, you wanna put them into half Moon Slash, and either one from Chain Slash, Stampeding Slash, or Wheel of Blaze. The sequence doesn't matter, and you wanna put Gale Wind rune on all the red skills. For the engravings, you most likely wanna run like this: Grudge, Keen Blunt Weapon, Curse-Stall, Pinnacle, and Mass Increase. Well, since crit damage on red skills got buffed from this patch, there are some people who are trying Ambush Master instead of Keen Blunt Weapon because the efficiency of Keen Blunt Weapon decreases when your crit damage increases. I do think if you can back attack a lot, then Ambush Master will do more damage than Keen Blunt Weapon, but Keen Blunt Weapon is still okay. And if you don't want back attack hitting style with Specialization and Swiftness build, then Keen Blunt Weapon is still the answer for you. By the way, if you want to know the efficiency of Keen Blunt Weapon on your character, watch my video about it that is linked below. When you build the engravings, the first priority is absolutely Pinnacle level 3. And for others, just go for the ones that you can afford. It's gonna be fine for sure. The second build is Pinnacle, Specialization, and Swiftness build mastering 4 blue skills and 3 red skills. As the 5 and 2 build, it is very stable and it runs 1 more guaranteed crit red skill, so the DPS relies more on red skills. And this is the build I would recommend for most of you guys for now, since you can run 3 guaranteed crit skills, which will make you stronger when you did not invest much into your character. Also, thanks to the buff on red skills on this patch, now 4 and 3 build does similar DPS when compared to 5 and 2 build. Stats are same, maining specialization and subbing swiftness. For the gear, Redemption or Nightmare set will be good for the relic gear. And for Argo set, the one that increases crit damage will be better than the crit rate, since crit rate set literally gives nothing to the red stance in this build. Now the skills. Starting from the blue one, you wanna run either one skill from Chain Slash, Stampeding Slash, or Wheel of Blaze. The tripods are all same as the previous builds. If you are going to run the Chain Slash, then you're gonna run like this. If you're running Stampeding Slash, it's gonna be like this. And if you're gonna run the Wheel of Blade, then the tripod will be like this. They are all same as the previous build, and you have to pick either one from these 3 skills. For Half Moon Slash and Raging Dragon Slash, you can also use the same tripod as the previous build. But there are some people who runs the Whirlwind tripod in the Half Moon Slash, and this tripod, which is the strongest tripod in this line of the Raging Dragon Slash. But at the same time, it has the longest delay. In short, the second tripod set, this set right here on Raging Dragon Slash, and this set right here on the Half Moon Slash, is stronger than first tripod set. This one and this build, guys. But takes longer as well. I'm also optimistic on this second set, guys, because since you use one less skill on blue stance when compared to a 5 and 2 build, most of the red skills might be still in cooldown even if you switch over to the red stance, which means having longer motion delay doesn't matter, guys. It all comes down to having stronger damage. Shackling Blue Dragon is also same as the previous build. And for the red skills, you're gonna run all these 3 skills as the 3 red skills, guys. And the tripod are all same as I referred in the previous build. For the Thrust of Destruction, you wanna run like this. And for Starfall Pounce. And lastly, for Red Dragon's Horn. When it comes to Awakening, it's same as the previous build. Meteor Spear for the Nightmare Relic set, and Storming Red Dragon for other sets. For the runes, if you want to run Conviction and Judgment runes, you want to put them in to Half Moon Slash. And either one from what you're using, which will be either Chain Slash or Stampeding Slash or Wheel of Blaze. The sequence doesn't matter. And you want to put Gale Wind on all the 3 red skills. For the engravings, you want to run Grudge, Keen Blunt Weapon, Cursed Doll, Raid Captain, and Pinnacle. Well, Raid Captain shows high efficiency on running 3 red skills, since Red Stance gives you the movement speed bonus. And for this build, I do not recommend running Ambush Master over Keen Blunt Weapon, because blue skills are the ones that can back attack easier than red skills, since blue stance gives you attack speed while red skills does not. Also, most of the red skills are like either charging or holding skills. Well, however, mass increase over Keen Blunt Weapon is viable if you can handle the minus 10% attack speed penalty on running 3 red skills. The priority is same. You want Pinnacle level 3 at first, and go for any other engravings that's affordable. The next build is Pinnacle Specialization and Crit build, mastering 4 blue skills and 3 red skills. This build doesn't run Swiftness, and it does not use tripods that guarantee crits for the red skills. It rather go for the tripod that increases damage. So when compared to previous Swiftness builds, it is unstable when it comes to survivability and DPS, but it has a chance to outdamage that Swiftness builds when you get good crit RNG. For Specialization and Crit build, you have to rely more on the back attack since it's important to get 10% crit rate bonus. For the stats, you wanna main Specialization and sub crit. For the gears, you most likely wanna choose either Hallucination or Land set for Relic. Hallucination set increases damage and crit rate, whereas Land set increases crit rate as default, along with crit damage and damage when you back attack. For the Argo set, you wanna go for the one that raises crit rate, not the crit damage like the Swiftness builds. Let's look at the skill. You wanna run either one from Chain Slash, Stampeding Slash, or Wheel of Blaze. The tripods for all these skills are same. For Chain Slash, you wanna run like this, and for Stampeding Slash, like this, and for Wheel of Blade, it's gonna be like this, which are all the same as the previous builds. For Half Moon Slash and Raging Dragon Slash, like I said before, I recommend using the Whirlwind tripod, this tripod set on the Half Moon Slash, and for Raging Dragon Slash, I recommend running this tripod, the Precise Slash, with this tripod set. For Shackling Blue Dragon, the tripod is same. And for the 3 red skills, you wanna run Starfall Pounce, Red Dragon's Horn, and Thrust of Destruction. For Thrust of Destruction, you wanna run this tripod that increases damage instead of the guarantee crit tripod. Others are same. By the way, if you see here, the position of damage increase tripod and shield tripod got swapped after the patch. For the Starfall Pounce, you wanna run this tripod right here that increases damage instead of the one that guarantees crit. Others are same. And for the Red Dragon's Horn, you wanna run this tripod right here that increases damage instead of the one that guarantees crit. Others are same. When it comes to the Awakening, you wanna run Storming Red Dragon for this build. And when it comes to the rune, you wanna run Galewind on all the red skills. And run Conviction and Judgment on Half Moon Slash. And either one from the one that you're using, which would be Chain Slash or Stampeding Slash or Wheel of Blaze. The sequence doesn't matter. For the engravings, if you're running Hallucination gear set or an Argos crit rate set, then Grudge, Keen Blown Weapon, Cursal, Raid Captain, Pinnacle will be the set. If you're running Land gear set, then switch the Keen Blown Weapon to Ambush Master. When it comes to the priority, Pinnacle level 3 is the first one to have, and others you can go whatever you want that are affordable. The next build is Pinnacle Specialization and Crit build, mastering 3 blue skills and 4 red skills. This build is also unstable and you need to rely heavily on back attack to get additional crit rate. since it's using 4 red skills with damage increase tripods that got buffed in the patch. Theoretically, this build will be the strongest out of all the Pinnacle build if you can back attack a lot, and also if you can use all those 4 red skills in 10 seconds before the identity buff ends. So this means it's the hardest build as well. For the stats, you wanna main specialization and sub crit. And for the gears, it's same as the previous build, hallucination or land set. And if you're wearing Argos set, then you want to run the crit rate bonus set. Now the skills. The tripod shares same with the previous build. For the Half Moon Slash, you wanna run like this, using the Whirlwind tripod, and Raging Dragon Slash, you wanna use the Precise Slash as this build set. And for the Shackling Blue Dragon, you wanna run this tripod set right here. For the red stance, you wanna run Thrust of Destruction with the same tripod as the previous build, Starfall Pounce, and Red Dragon's Horn, like this. And the last red skill will be 4-headed dragon. This skill also got buffed in the patch for crit rate and damage. For the first tripod, the one which raises crit rate, you want to go for this. And second one is this one, the one that turns this skill into a holding skill and increases crit rate and damage at the same time. And for the last tripod, you want to run this tripod right here, which can apply bleeding debuff on the mob. And this debuff can stack up to 10 times, which means it synergies well with this tripod, since this is the tripod that enables the skill to stab for 10 times. So it can stack up to 10. For the awakenings, you wanna run Storming Red Dragon. And by the way, you most likely to wanna run the awakening on the red stance. Unlike the swiftness build, guys, since even on red stance you can get the crit rate from the stat and from the gear set, well, there's a higher possibility of the awakening doing more damage in the red stance than blue stance for these builds. For the runes, you wanna run Galewind on Thrust of Destruction, Starfall Pounce, and Red Dragon's Horn. You wanna run Bleed rune on 4-headed dragon for this build. There's no good blue skills which you can run Conviction and Judgment rune on, and you mostly wanna go for Wealth rune on the Raging Dragon Slash. When it comes to engraving, if you're running Hallucination gear set or Crit Rate Argo set, then Grudge, Keen Blown Weapon, Cursed Doll, Raid Captain, and Pinnacle is the way to go. If you're running Land gear set, then switch the Keen Blown Weapon to the Ambush Master. Well, theoretically, running Ambush Master with the Land set will do much more damage, but at the same time, it's like you are raising the difficulty from hard mode to super hard mode. If you can manage it, then you can go for it for sure. And when it comes to priority, Pinnacle level 3 is the first one to have, and others you can just go whatever you want that are affordable. The last build is Control build. You can only use blue skills with Control class engraving, so you cannot get the identity buff. Therefore, the damage of each skills will be weaker than Pinnacle build, but it makes DPS by spamming the skills with high cooldown reduction from the high swiftness. When things get invested, Control build does similar damage to Pinnacle builds, but it is weaker than Pinnacle in the early state, like before getting high level gem, tripods, and high swiftness, etc. For the stats, you wanna main swiftness and sub crit stat. You don't need any specialization since you cannot switch stance. For the gear set, land set is recommended for relic gear, and for the Argos gear set, you wanna go for the one that raises crit rate. Now the skills. Let me first go over the skills that were referred in the Pinnacle build. You wanna run Chain Slash, the same tripod, Stampeding Slash, Vault Kick, Half Moon Slash, and Raging Dragon Slash with this tripod right here that slashes only once. Even though it's the weakest tripod out of all three, it has the shortest motion delay, and that is better to raise DPS of spammy build like control build. Other tripods are same. And for the Wheel of Blade, it's also same. Shackling Blue Dragon. And for the last one, I see most of people running Flash Kick over level 10. The first tripod you want to go for is the one that increases distance of the movement. And for the second one, you want to go for the one that increases the damage by consuming 20% of the identity gauge. And for the last one, you want to go for this one that increases range and damage as well. For the Awakening, you want to run Storming Red Dragon. When it comes to the runes, you want to run Conviction and Judgment on Half Moon Slash and Wheel of Blaze. The sequence doesn't matter. And you want to run Gale Wind runes on Chain Slash and Stampeding Slash. If you have more, then you want to put it on the Flash Kick. When it comes to engravings, you want to go for Grudge, Cursed, Ambush Master, Raid Captain, and Control. For the priority, Control level 3 is the first one to build since it raises the damage of all the blue skills by 36%. And for others, you can prioritize the ones that you want, which can be affordable. Well guys, that's all for today. If you liked my video, please hit the subscribe and follow my Twitch, which will really help me a lot. Thanks for watching and see you guys on the next video. Bye bye!